Matthew Knies continues to earn his keep as Jake McCabe makes his return felt. Hey everyone, welcome to Inside the Leafs. Rob Wong, joined alongside by Toronto Sun Maple Leafs writers Terry Koshan and Lance Hornby. And guys, it's been an interesting season for Matthew Knies. Started like a house on fire. Then there was a bit of a lull, but over the last couple of weeks here has really turned his game up again. A couple of goals against the Tampa Bay Lightning, 18 now on the season, on pace for over 30. Lance, we know he is set to be an RFA at the end of this season. Historically, at least with the big three, there weren't these big time bridge contracts, but Matthew Knies could be a candidate for a longer term deal. But if he continues to play this way, what do you think him and his camp will be looking for this offseason?
Well, it's hard for us to wrap our heads around. This guy doesn't even make really $1 million yet. He makes something like 10 million less than Mitch Marner and 12 million less than Austin Matthews. But sky's the limit for this guy, and of course the cap is going up a bit. They've initially they had to factor in raises for Marner, for Matthews, and I'm sure for a couple of other people. The interesting thing too being how this might affect the John Tavares negotiations. They have to make some room where he's concerned. But the one thing is, if he is restricted, but is the guy not going to get any better a chance than he has here with these two guys playing on what could potentially be one of the best Leaf lines in many years, and a shot at the cup? So I'm sure there's no competitive reason he wouldn't want to stay here. But when it comes to money, it might be a lot more different. And he's certainly making a case to be paid as well as some of the other stars on this team right now.
Well, he's not going to get that money, but you're looking at the $7 million range. You look at guys like Lafreniere and Slavkovsky and Boldy. That's where they've all signed their second contracts for long-term deals. And, whether it's a bridge or not for Knies, we'll see. But if it's long-term, you're looking in that range, I think, for sure. And, like Lance said, the cap's going up a bit. By at least 4 or 5 million, could be more. We'll have to see. But I think that's what they're looking at, what Knies is looking at. I mean, we have to be realistic here. Yeah, you've got Marner and Tavares and a few other things, but this is what the kid deserves if he keeps this going. Like you said, Rob, he's on pace for over 30 goals and playing really well with that line. And there's nothing that would indicate he's going to come off this ever. I don't mean ever is a long time, but what I mean is it's what Craig Berube wants. He's like they said last night. I don't know if they talked to each other or what, but they both put it the same way. Knies saying, what he wants, I played to a T, and then Berube using the same kind of description of Knies about 10 minutes later with us. So he's the youth, the power, the skill, everything. It's a great package for the Leafs. We've seen what he's doing the top line. He's their biggest player. But yeah, I think that anything less, if you'd argue anything less $7 million a year, I don't think you're being very realistic here. So that's likely going to be the starting point. How much, if it goes any higher than that, I don't know about that, but who knows? I mean, he's on pace for 30, but what if he gets even hotter here in the second half and gets closer to 40? We'll have to see. But it's a nice problem for the Leafs to have, because what they know they're doing is the money aside. And they go, okay, well, how's this going to play out in the salary cap? You're getting a really good player who's not even hit his potential yet, under contract for a long time, and the Leafs benefit the player.
I would quickly add that the playoffs will be the big payoff when this, if he can carry this into playoffs and be that physical guy. How nice is it to see, a Leaf player go to the net for some of those goals? That's something that the team has been wanting the Stars to do for a while.
It will, but I don't think that's not, if the Leafs go out in the first round, he doesn't do well, I still think he's going to get his money. But you're right. He has the potential to be, I mean, look at the way he plays against Tampa and Florida already, right? So if they get one of those teams, I don't know, but he certainly has. This is what they're leading to. This, having this impact in the playoffs and being that type of playoff performer. It's like I said, it's that package that Berube wants.
Absolutely, and if he's making $7 million and playing this way, it's a pretty big steal for the Maple Leafs. A guy who was also a big steal here, Terry, Jake McCabe, who of course signed that contract extension earlier this season. Since he's come back, has obviously stabilized the D-core. Was playing with Morgan Riley in the last game against the Tampa Bay Lightning. When you look at the most important players on this team, you obviously talk a lot about the core guys, and you talk about the goaltenders this year specifically. But when it comes to Jake McCabe, how far down that list do you go before you get to his name?
Not very. I mean, obviously the forwards are the guys, right? the three of them, and then you've got, the four of them, and then you've got Joseph Wall and net what he's done. But on the defense, when you get into that importance factor, Tanev and McCabe are 1-2, or maybe 1A and 1B. I mean, we've seen what they've done together. Things aren't going well for Morgan Riley, and who gets beside him last night but Jake McCabe. And a year ago, we wouldn't have thought that McCabe would be the stabilizer type on any pair. But there he is. I mean, he and McCabe he and Tanev, the shutdown pair that they've been. They might have come off it a bit here in the last month or so, but still really effective overall for the Leafs on the ice for a lot more goals at 5-on-5 than he is against. And really, it takes some people longer to find their potential, I guess. And blue liners, we see it all the time, Lance. I mean, being around this game, it's not always at 20 or 23 or 25. It's come a little later for McCabe. He played on bad teams in Buffalo and Chicago previously in his career, but here he is now on a team that the emphasis on defensive structure, and he's excelling. And I just think that as much as we are attracted to Tanev and him being the anchor back there and really making things go defensively, the recognition of what McCabe does has to be there as well. And I just think he's been a rock for them this year.
Well, certainly they recognize that worth that Terry's talking about in signing him to the long contract that they did right through to 2030, I believe. So he's going to be a factor there. The one asterisk I would be worried about is the last couple of injuries he's taken. We certainly hope that that's not going to be an issue going forward. But he's relied upon. But the good thing for the Leafs, as Terry alluded to, he's not the only one. They have Tanev back there. They've added Oliver Ekman-Larsson. Benoit's come up and down a little bit. We still don't really know if Connor Timmins is going to be long-term there, but you have to look at you've got to look at the defense as it's constituted right now. And Berube's mandate was to make them better. And I think certainly as 6 or 7, they are better. They're, I think a tweak is coming at the trade deadline, but McCabe's a huge part of that.
Yeah. Seems as though, like you said, Lance, there is going to be reinforcements on the way at some point later this year before the trade deadline, but we'll get there when we get there. As always, leave your thoughts in the comment section below. For Lance Hornby and Terry Koshan, I'm Rob Wong. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you next time.